Hi, this is Susan Browne. I'm reading the poem Bonanza. Bonanza. Amanda shows me my bones, a picture of my spine, ghost-like, snake-like, like it could rattle. I say, Amanda, it looks crooked. Why is that? She shrugs. You're not the only one. Your bone density's fine. You can go now. My plebeian spine walks me toward the mammogram room, where I flop my boob onto the plastic tray. Flop is not exactly accurate concerning these tater tots. Darlene tussles with them, trying to yank what's barely there and squish it under the plate. Wait, I say, trying not to yell. Darlene waits, complimenting me on my earrings. I explain where I bought them, in case she'd like a pair, and she asks if I'm ready, and before I answer, my flesh is smashed and splayed into place. I'm told not to breathe. The machine whirs. My spine curves even more weirdly. I am bones, hung with a hunk of tissue, muscle, blood. I am not the only one who rattles and spins on the wheel of living's roulette. And finally, Darlene says, you can go now, as she stares at a computer screen. Is her expression alarmed, or maybe her mouth's just slightly crooked? I stand straight and naked from the waist up, except for my earrings, the room cold slabs of concrete where the body is a dumb animal searching for a way out. Bloused, I elevate her from the basement and walk outside into a bonanza of sunshine, the crowded street, the amazing meat of us, the jostling bones of us, the creaking, the sloshing, the man carrying his baby against his chest in a sash as if he's holding eggs while riding a unicycle, the old lady pushing an older lady in a wheelchair so slowly the universe could be redesigned before they cross the street to the storefront brimming with apricots and artichokes. Doesn't take X-ray eyes to see something inside us all, like a secret I wish we'd tell without fear, leaning close, nearly kissing the other's ear.
Hi, I'm Ken Haas, proud author of a new book called Borrowed Light, recently published by Red Mountain Press and winner of their 2020 Discovery Award. This is a new poem, not in the book, called Instructing the Virus, and has an epigraph by the 19th century English satirist Samuel Butler. Chickens are an egg's way of making more eggs. We are trying to see you as you would want to be seen. The human calling being to grok and rank and teach all things, enemies as well as undecideds. The best we can do, though, is see you as we would want to be seen if we were you. For example, under a microscope, where the influenza of you resemble Van Gogh's sunflowers. The West Nile of you, muscular cubist grapes. The herpes of you, nimbi, blooming in radar over Kansas. You are indeed glorious and dangerous, lascivious and generous, and the last shall be first, etc. Still, we calculate it better to be chicken than egg. The host, the boss, the mass, the house, the bus, the beast, the blessed. Although we're sure you're out to kill us, not just hitch a ride, those of us intimate with the scorn of gods and relatives cannot help welcoming aboard you pirates who love unquestioned everything we do. Shake the sweaty hand to seal the shady deal. Pat the nose of the panting mutt. Bonk in mud. Munch on deep-fried bats and undercooked whoppers. As if your training, not our understanding, were the mission of our clucking minds. Every time we start out believing you are after them, not us. Polio, just the young. AIDS, just the gay. Ebola, just the dark. Now Corona, just the old. It turns out you don't see us that way. See us as we just don't see. This new one of you has us uneasy, playing Risk 6 feet apart, stockpiling spam, drinking detergent for cleaning out fish tanks, searching the attic for an old rosé. You must teach us some more. Teach us again.
Hi, I'm Janet Jennings, and I'm reading to you from San Anselmo. The poem I've chosen is called Riding with Ken. Linda and I, fed up, made a plan. At a toy store in the mall, we bought all the Ken dolls on the shelf, talked our way into a discount for $9. Malibu Ken, soccer Ken, skier Ken, tux Ken, and motorcycle Ken, in a range of yellow and brown painted on plastic hair. We recognized them all. When dusk came and the air cooled, we cut lengths of twine, tied one end to our bike back fenders, the other to Ken necks, and rode out on single-track dirt to Tennessee Valley Beach. Our stiff-limbed Kens hit roots and rocks. They bumped, jumped, and clattered, a wake of stand-ins kicking up dust. We pedaled faster, flying toward the beach, where we skidded to a stop for the fun of it, for the havoc. The moon slid up, and we were covered in it, running toward the waves with our arms full. We stood on the edge of the continent, pulled them apart, heads, torsos, legs, and threw them into the surging tide, giddy with something we had no name for. Thank you for listening.
I'm Meryl Natchez. This is my new book, Catwalk, just out from Longship Press. I'm going to read one of the first poems in it called The Handbook. I wonder how many of us, long hair parted in the middle, pored over the Chinese barefoot doctor's manual by the light of a kerosene lantern, hoping it was accurate, as we assembled the package of blankets, twine, cloth diapers and pins, sleeper, boiled scissors, wrapped it in newspaper, tied it, baked it, and set it on a high shelf as we awaited the unpredictable journey. Everything we did needed a handbook then. So when the head appeared, after more pain than I'd been led to expect, and Larry rotated first one shoulder, then the other, and the scrawny body popped into his arms just as the handbook said, with an alien beauty the book hadn't described. Is it a surprise that we thought we were changing the world? Or a surprise that the world pushed back and changed us?
Hi, I'm Lee Rossi, and this is my poem, Draining the Lake, which appeared originally in the Sun magazine. Like pilgrims visiting the tombs of saints, smoky hands of angels on our shoulders, we wandered the medieval city, stone churches and tall, half-timbered houses leaning over narrow streets. After lunch, we walked to a nature preserve where we used to meet 20 years before. Or maybe the only pilgrim was me, having flown a night and a day to visit my memories. She'd lived here her whole life, one day's dust settling on every yesterday, whereas for me that brief, vivid time was fresh as photos in an acid-free album. I remembered her, still almost a girl, lithe as exposed wire, electrons ready to jump into my hand and burn through my body. Who had she become, who was once so hungry for love? All around us, the short, bright summer was having its way with things. In dappled shade, we walked beside the 3 lakes at the center of the preserve. From the air, they might have looked like the chambers of a heart, pumping the valley's blood into the river, which surrounded the town like a moat. The ducks, not so wild that they hadn't grown used to handouts, guided their little families in tight formation, like convoys on the lookout for U-boats. In my country, they might be dragging the water for the body of a gangbanger, or else one of the lakes would be drained, and workmen and waiters and gas masks would be collecting milk cartons, beer bottles, old tires, and a mountain of plastic wrappers. Here, they don't throw trash into the lakes. At least they pretend they don't. Here they let bodies sink into the mud, where the worms can do their work. I could almost see myself on the bottom of the lake, slowly decomposing, but alert enough to notice the oddly matched couple staring at the surface. Maybe we'd always been wrong for one another. How could anyone understand my habit of going in the wrong direction? I seemed immune to the usual sorts of happiness. I seemed to thrive on mistakes. How else explain how happy I'd become?